Nebraska versus Texas A&M in the 8-9 matchup in the South region. Winner will most likely take on Houston in the second round. Let's talk about it. Friday night, 6:50, 23-10 Nebraska's taking on 2014 Texas A&M, 20-14 Texas A&M, not 2014 Texas A&M. This game will be in Memphis. Let's talk Nebraska first. Why are they here? Why are they good? Well, the two guys that lead their offense are Kasai Tominaga, the Asian sensation, putting up threes, the quick trigger. He's averaging 15 points per game. And then Bryce Williams, the more steady three-level scorer, the Charlotte transfer, averaging 13 and 5. What makes Nebraska good, and why should you pick them? Well, they're just as simple as I can put it. They're just a quality team. They're consistent on both sides of the ball. Of course, like I said, they got Tominaga and Williams to take on the offensive load. And then defensively, they play great half-court defense. However, their weakness, of course, is if you get out in transition, they tend to struggle a little bit to slow down fast-paced opponents. But we'll talk about that if that's an issue against Texas A&M. The reason their defense is so solid is because they have a deep rotation. They play a lot of guys. They sometimes play 9, 10 guys a game. Is that something you can rely on in March? I don't know. Typically, in the postseason, teams tend to crack down their rotation. They play only 5, 6, 7 guys. Will Nebraska do that, or will Fred Hoiberg continue to go with the depth? That's an interesting storyline to watch. Of course, talking about some guys that Nebraska played this year, they took down Purdue. That was their best win on the year. They won 88-72. They beat Wisconsin as well. They got smoked by Illinois. They got smoked by Northwestern. They lost to Illinois twice. They lost to Wisconsin, lost to Creighton. So they've played good teams this year. So Texas A&M, it's not like Texas A&M is going to be the best team they've played all year. But it's going to be interesting. Does Texas A&M play a fast-paced offense? That's probably a question you want to know. Not necessarily. They only average 74 points per game. They give up 70. So this isn't like one of the best offensive teams Nebraska's played all year. But Buzz Williams, just like Fred Hoiberg, is a good coach. They rattled off 5 straight victories in March at one point this year. They lost to Florida in the SEC tournament, but they did beat Kentucky in the SEC tournament as well. They took down Tennessee earlier this year. They took down Kentucky in the middle of the season. So they've showed at different points throughout the season that they can go on spurts and win games. They, of course, played Houston as well early in the season. They barely lost to them. They played a great game against Houston. That could be big come second round. They've already seen them once. Who's Texas A&M led by? They're led by their star player. It's Wade Taylor. He averages almost 19, 4, and 3. And they also got Tyrese Radford, averaging 16. So they're definitely led by their stars. They don't rely on their depth as much. They have depth, but they don't rely on it as much as Nebraska. They're going to really play through their stars. But they take care of the ball. They get on the offensive glass. They're not fast-paced, though. So do they really... Are they going to be able to break down Nebraska's good half-court defense? I think them being good at the offensive glass is a big thing because they're going to be taking a lot of outside shots. They're going to really need to crash the glass, get on the boards, get second chance points if they want a chance to beat Nebraska. I think they're going to be able to do that well. Nebraska isn't the biggest team. They obviously, Tominaga's tiny. Bryce Williams isn't great on the glass. I think Texas A&M is going to be able to crash the glass. I trust Wade Taylor the most out of anyone in this game. So give me Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M wins the 9-8 matchup. If you want to call it an upset, you can. They're the 9 seed. They win. They'll take on Houston in the next round, assuming Houston beats Longwood. I guess you never know. But they'll have a rematch from that December game earlier this year where Texas A&M lost by 4, and we'll see if Texas A&M can make a run to the Sweet 16. Give me Texas A&M to take down Nebraska in the fun story of Tominaga, but Texas A&M ends up winning.